Hello, everyone, and welcome to this Facebook Live. And I'm going to be talking about making money magic. Yeah, awesome. So, one of the things that I wanted to really talk about was my own personal journey with basically using some of the basic money tools from Access Consciousness and how that has really changed my life. And there are three in particular that have really created a different energy. The thing about money and money in our lives is a lot of it is energetic, and we function from all of these basically like energetic points of view, and that's what ends up creating our financial reality. And we often don't actually recognize that those points of view might not actually be ours, they might not belong to us. We might have just learned to function like that from our friends or our family or society. And then also, it's like you will become basically like entrained to different things with money. And so, a lot of that, all of those different things, might not actually be yours. And so, if you could imagine what it would be like to actually have your financial reality, and what would that actually be like? So, even if you just take a moment right now to get a sense of what is it that you would like to create financially as your future in the next 5, 10, 15, 50, 100 years, what would that be like? What would be the energy, the space, and the consciousness of that? Okay? And if you can get a sense of it, then it's a possibility for you. And basically, what you can start to do is make some different choices that will start to head you in the direction of that future that you desire to create. Um, Basically, like when I started using these tools, these tools that I'm going to talk about a little bit are some of the tools that you get in the Access Consciousness Foundation class. And at the time when I got these tools, even spending the money to go to a foundation class, which at the time I think was around maybe $800, something like that. It was like that was a big deal for me at the time, and it was like, whoa, making sure that I had all enough money to pay my rent, do all the other stuff that I need to do in my life, as well as sort of like this big expense. And now $800 just doesn't feel like a lot of money. It's not what it used to be for me. So, one of the things that I would like to invite you to is, what if your financial reality right now could be completely different in as little as, let's say, 5 years, that you look back and you do not know what it's like to function with money as you do now. Okay? So, what if that is actually a true possibility that you could have? And I'm not saying that from like, you know, heebie jeebie. It's like I've actually experienced that myself using these tools. So, with it actually requires quite a lot of vulnerability with yourself to look at what you're creating with finances. And for a lot of us, we might have learned how to be with money from our parents, for example, or from somebody else, in our life that, we respected, or whatever that is. And a lot of people, A, will not talk about money, but B, a lot of people avoid money and avoid the creation of money in their lives. So, one of the first things that I would like to invite you to, if you want to get more ease with money, and if you want to get clear on what it is that you would like to create with money, is actually work out how much money is coming in and how much money is going out, and see where you're actually at. Because for a lot of us, we don't even have that clarity. How much money is coming into my life? How much money am I, expending on different things? And what does that look like in comparison to each other. So, an interesting exercise that, we did recently with our finances, looking at, like buying property and what we'd actually like to create with it, and, like looking at, how much money it requires basically to live our lives the way that we would like to. We worked out there was like a certain amount, and we then added that up over, all the years, like say from now until you're 80, and it works out to be like millions of dollars, right? So it's like, if you can actually get clear on it, then you go, okay, so this is what I actually need to create. Now, what else can I add to my life to contribute towards this? And so you start to actually build a foundation and a platform financially that actually starts to contribute to that future. And you might get a number that you just go, wow, that is like impossible, or I could never have that much, or I could never create that much. But what if you just went, okay, well, what's one thing that I could do or be or put in place that would create a different financial reality today? And if you were to do that every day, in a month, you would have a different financial reality, and you would be creating a different financial future. So this is what really excites me, is because it's like you don't have to make this huge, big change right now, and it often doesn't show up like that. Sometimes it does. But if you're willing to make a different choice every day, and if you're willing to take action every day, you can actualize something different, and it does create a change. So get clear on your finances. Get clear on what it is that you would like to create. Get clear on how much that costs. Get clear on how much is coming in. And then get clear on how much do you need to add to what you're currently creating in order to have that and more that you're asking for. Okay, and if you're watching, hello, thanks for being here. We are talking about making money magic, and it's tips and tools for creating more ease with money. So, talking about basically that place of getting clear on your finances is what we were just talking about. And all of these tools are also, they might seem very practical or they might seem very impractical, but what they're really designed to do is to change the energy of the situation that you're functioning from. Because when you change the energy, you have a different space available, and you start to see different choices that you didn't know that you had. And that's how different financial realities get created. Yes. So another tip that I'd like to give you is something that a lot of you would be familiar with, and it's a great one for changing the energy of things, and that is all the money that comes into your life, putting 10% away as an honoring of you. And what this does is it really starts to basically show you and the universe that you honor you. So it's what we call an honoring account. And basically you put that 10% away as an honoring of you. It's not for spending, it's for having. And it's to say, I like money, I honor myself with money. And you get to watch it grow, and eventually you'll get to an amount of money that you've decided or energetically is the amount of money that you start to then actually have a sense of relaxation and a sense of peace and ease with money, which actually allows more money to come into your life. Okay, you might have heard it before, but relax and receive. And if you get to an amount of money that allows you to have that relaxation, the receiving of money can come with much greater ease. The next tool is to carry around an amount of money that you think a rich person would have with them. Okay, and so this is again an energetic, changing the energy of how you function with money. Because how many of you have, gone to the shops and you want to buy something, and then you look in your wallet and you're like, yeah, I don't know if I can actually afford that right now. And it's like, okay, so what if every time you opened your wallet, you went, wow, I'm rich. I could buy anything here that I wanted to. What would I really like to choose? and it starts to open up the doors of possibility for what it is that you could truly have. And it changes the energy from that scarcity mentality of never having enough to always having too much. Okay, so you might start with, a few $100s, and then you might increase it as, you start to feel more comfortable with that. And a lot of people will say, well, but what if I lose my wallet, or, what if I lose this money that I'm carrying on you? Trust me, if you have, $500 to $1,000 in your wallet, you are going to be aware of where your wallet is, okay? And it's like, I would suggest only using an amount of money that you are willing to lose. And one of the things that you can do if you don't like, carrying cash around is, you could buy some gold and carry that around with you, or, do what works for you. Find something that's fun for you that works for you. But basically, carrying an amount of money that a rich person would carry with them actually allows you to start to see like choice from a different perspective, and you start to change the way that even your mind works in regards to money. So just try it. What have you got to lose? Get clear on your finances. Put 10% of everything that comes away as an honoring of you, and carry an amount of money that you think a rich person would carry with you. Okay, and just start to notice, like, if you gave yourself 6 months to a year using these tools, you've got nothing to lose. It's not about giving anyone, money, or paying for any, special thing. It's like, these are just 3 simple tips that you can use to change your financial reality. What's the worst that could happen if you actually gave it a shot? So guys, I hope this has been a contribution to you. It is, making money magic, and we've been talking about some tips and tricks to have more ease with money. And I am also doing a 7-part Facebook Live series, which is going to be delving more into some of these tools, and also some other tools around money, and what you can actually create as a different reality for you financially. Because if you keep choosing the same things that you're choosing right now in regards to money, you are going to have the same reality in 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, 100 years, however it is, however long you plan on living for, and, maybe even lifetimes after lifetimes. So let's make a different choice. Let's have more ease with money, and let's find some tips and tricks that can actually give us that ease that we've been asking for. So I will pop a link to join if you're interested in the comments. And thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And I will talk to you soon, and I will hopefully see you soon as well. Thank you, my friends. Bye for now.